Jakarta, May 14, 1998, 3:17 p.m. Arif, a 21-year-old economics student at the University of Indonesia, is running. His lungs burn with something more than exertion, with tear gas, with rage, with a fear so profound it has become a chemical taste at the back of his throat. 3 days ago, he was studying for finals, dreaming of a master's degree abroad. 3 hours ago, he was chanting peacefully with his classmates. 3 minutes ago, he watched soldiers beat his friend Darmawan unconscious for holding a sign that read, Reformasi. Now Arif's hand closes around a chunk of pavement torn from the street. It fits perfectly in his palm. Heavy reel. He is no longer thinking about his thesis, his future, his moral philosophy class. All that is vaporized. There is only this, the armored vehicle ahead, the adrenal scream in his blood, and the infinite urgent now. He throws the stone. The Neurochemistry of Vanishing Futures. What happened inside Arif's brain in those 3 minutes? To understand, we need to visit Dr. Sarah Ismail's lab at the National University of Singapore, where she puts subjects under fMRI scanners and induces acute stress. Not with violence, but with a deviously simple game. Count backward from 1023 by 13, while being told you're too slow, your answers are wrong, and everyone else is performing better. As stress mounts, the fMRI shows a literal topographic collapse in the brain. The prefrontal cortex, PFC, the region responsible for future planning, moral reasoning, and impulse control, goes dark. Its metabolic activity drops by up to 30%. Simultaneously, the amygdala, the almond-shaped threat detector deep in the limbic system, lights up like a fire alarm. It floods the system with cortisol and adrenaline. This neurochemical cascade does something profound. It changes how we experience time. Normally, our brains exist in a gentle tug-of-war between two networks. 1. The task-positive network, present-focused attention. 2. The default mode network, future-past simulation, theory of mind. Under acute stress, the default mode network shuts down. We lose the ability to simulate tomorrow, to empathize with others' perspectives, to remember our long-term goals. The task-positive network narrows to a laser focus, the threat in the next 3 seconds. In our model's language, Arif's temporal horizon collapsed from finite to zero. His optimization driver shifted from meaning, education, ideals, to survival, escape, retaliation. His moral style regressed from principled, nonviolent protest to self-justifying. They hurt us, I can hurt them. This is not a moral failure. It is a neurological event. We call it axis drift. Axis drift, the predictable regression. Axis drift is the most common human response to existential threat. It has 3 stages. Stage 1, temporal collapse. The future becomes unimaginable. All planning horizons shrink. The 30-year mortgage, the 5-year career plan, next week's dinner party all become absurd abstractions. The mind lives in an expanded, eternal present. This is why, during crises, people cash out retirement accounts for immediate needs. Why they abandon strategic plans for tactical reactions. Stage 2, optimization narrowing. With no future to build toward, optimization simplifies. Complex drives for meaning, legacy, purpose, or balanced experience survival, status safety, collapse into primal survival. Sometimes survival expresses as aggression, sometimes as flight, sometimes as freezing. The nuance is gone. Stage 3, moral simplification. The sophisticated contextual moral reasoning of the PFC gives way to the amygdala's binary code: friend, foe, safe, dangerous, us, them. Principled ethics become a luxury. Contextual ethics become too computationally expensive. Self. Justifying morality, I must protect mine, becomes the default operating system. This drift explains otherwise baffling transformations. The gentle father who becomes violent during a home invasion, the honest accountant who commits fraud when her company faces bankruptcy, the idealistic revolutionary who becomes a torturer upon seizing power. They haven't revealed their true selves. They have neurologically regressed along the 3 axes. The B-29 over Tokyo, a case study in institutional drift axis. Drift isn't just individual. It's institutional, civilizational. Consider the United States strategic bombing campaign in World War II. In 1942, the U.S. Army Air Forces adhered to precision daylight bombing of military targets. A finite horizon strategy, win the war. With contextual to principled morality, avoid civilian casualties where possible. By March 1945, that policy had drifted. On the night of March 9-10, General Curtis LeMay launched 334 B-29 bombers against Tokyo with a new weapon, napalm. They targeted not factories but wooden residential districts. The firestorm killed approximately 100,000 civilians, most in hours. What happened? 1. Temporal collapse. After years of brutal warfare and heavy bomber losses, the military's horizon shrank from winning justly to ending this now. Optimization narrowing, from a mix of meaning, moral high ground, and survival military victory, to pure survival, reduce U.S. casualties, force surrender. A moral simplification, from principled, contextual to self-justifying. They started it, it will save lives overall. LeMay's infamous quote, "There are no innocent civilians." This is the linguistic signature of axis drift, the erasure of complexity, the reduction of the world to a zero-sum game of us versus them. The stress invariance, those who don't drift now, the mystery. In every crisis, some individuals don't drift. Their temporal horizon holds. Their optimization driver stays complex. Their moral style remains consistent. We call this property stress invariance. Let's examine two archetypes. Case study 1. The pilot who kept time, January 15, 2009. U.S. Airways Flight 1549 loses both engines over New York City. Captain Chesley "Sully" Sullenberger has 208 seconds before impact. His brain should be drowning in cortisol. His horizon should collapse to pure panic. Instead, his cockpit voice recording reveals something extraordinary. A calm, extended present. He runs through checklists. He communicates clearly. He considers alternatives, return to LaGuardia, Teterboro, before deciding on the Hudson River. Sully's finite horizon, land the plane safely, never collapsed to zero, abandoned procedure, panic. His optimization driver remained a complex blend of survival, passenger safety, and meaning, professional duty. His moral style stayed principled, follow protocol, communicate truthfully. Post-flight analysis showed he made optimal decisions at every point. He experienced stress, but his axes held firm. Cultural modulation of drift. Not all cultures drift in the same way. In tight collectivist societies like Japan and Singapore, the individual's horizon is often embedded in the group's horizon. Under stress, the individual may not collapse to pure self-interest, but to group interest. This can look like self-sacrifice for the collective, the captain going down with the ship, heightened conformity, following orders without question during crisis, protection of in-group at all costs. The 2011 Fukushima nuclear disaster revealed this. While there was panic, many workers stayed at their posts in lethal radiation levels. Their temporal horizon extended to Japan's future. Their optimization was meaning survival for the nation. Their morality was principled duty, contextualized by loyalty. In more individualistic cultures, stress more often triggers pure self-preservation. Neither is inherently superior. The collectivist response can maintain order but suppress critical dissent. The individualist response can promote innovation, but risk societal fragmentation. The practical test, where do you drift? Consider 3 scenarios. 1. Financial collapse. Your life savings evaporate in a market crash. Do you A. liquidate everything and hoard cash? Zero horizon survival. B. Stick to your long-term investment plan. Finite eternal horizon. C. Blame others and seek revenge. Self-justifying morality. 2. Professional threat. A colleague unfairly accuses you of misconduct, threatening your career. Do you A. publicly attack them immediately? Zero experience self-justifying. B. Seek mediation and evidence. Finite survival meaning contextual. C. Withdraw and silently bear it. Finite survival principled passive. Free physical danger. You witness an assault. Do you A. flee immediately? Zero survival. B. Intervene directly. Zero finite meaning survival. C. Call for help while assessing risk. Finite survival contextual. There are no right answers, only diagnostic ones. Your first instinct reveals your default drift pattern under stress. The dark side of invariance, stress. Invariance is not always virtuous. Psychopaths often show a form of it. Their axes are already configured in a drifted state: zero horizon, self-justifying, experience, survival optimization, and stress doesn't change them. A ruthless CEO might maintain her zero horizon, self-justifying strategy during a crisis while others panic. She appears calm under pressure, while firing thousands to protect the stock price. Her axes are stable but configured for what most would call amorality. This is crucial. Stress invariance is a structural property, not a moral one. It describes whether your coordinates change under pressure, not whether your coordinates are good. Return to Arif. What about our student in Jakarta? Arif threw the stone. It struck the armored vehicle with a hollow clang. Nothing changed. The vehicle kept advancing. In that moment of futility, something shifted again. A senior protester, Pakhadi, a former teacher now in his 60s, grabbed Arif's arm. "Enough," he said, not with anger, but with a terrifying calm. "We are not them, remember who you are." Pakhadi had lived through the 1965 purges. He had seen where zero-horizon violence leads. His temporal horizon extended beyond this street, beyond this regime, to the Indonesia he believed must someday exist. He was in that chaos stress invariant. His words didn't magically restore Arif's PFC function, but they provided an external scaffold, a borrowed horizon. Arif dropped the next stone. Later he would become a human rights lawyer. He would tell his students, "In a crisis, someone must hold the future. If you cannot, find someone who can and stand beside them." The takeaway axis drift is not weakness, it is human biology. Our brains evolved to prioritize immediate survival over long-term planning when threats appear. In a world of saber-toothed tigers, this kept us alive. In a world of financial markets, political crises, and social media storms, it can destroy us. Stress invariance is the exception, not the norm. It can be cultivated, but it requires 1. Preparing the brain through training, mindfulness, health. 2. Building temporal scaffolds, plans, principles, practiced futures. 3. Crystallizing identity. This is who I am, even under pressure. The most resilient systems, from airline crews to special forces teams to crisis governments, don't assume people won't drift. They structure themselves to minimize drift. Clear protocols, external temporal scaffolds, redundant decision makers to catch individual collapse. A culture that reinforces identity. We are people who. In the next chapter, we leave individual psychology and enter the realm of history. We will use our 3-axis model as a diagnostic tool to dissect civilizations. Why some, like ancient Khmer, built wonders that lasted centuries, while others, like the Dutch East India Company, rose with spectacular speed and collapsed into ruin. We will see how entire societies can be understood as stable configurations on our map, and how their drift, or invariance, determines their fate. Because now that we understand how stress changes individuals, we must ask, what happens when whole civilizations lose their future?